So I already had the beginning of chapter 17. It's impossible that offenses should come. Woe to them through whom they come. Millstone around your neck if you should offend one of these little ones. So that's definitely used. I'll skip that and go to verse 5. The apostle said to the Lord, increase our faith, and he responds, and the apostles said to the Lord, increase our faith. And the Lord said, does he thank that servant because he did the things that were commanded him? I trow not. So likewise you, when you shall have done all those things which are commanded you, say, we are unprofitable servants. We have done that which was our duty to do. Now this is a verse that needs to stop being ignored by some people. This is a parable that needs to stop being ignored. Let me read it again to you, much faster. Which of you having a servant plowing or feeding cattle will say to him by and by when he has come into the field, go and sit down to meat? Meaning this is the owner. You have a servant. You're saying, oh, you're done. Go and eat. No, you're still a servant. What's he going to say instead? And will not rather say to him, make ready wherewith I may sup, gird yourself and serve me, till I have eaten and drunken, and afterwards you shall eat and drink. Does he thank that servant because he did the things that were commanded? If you have an employee, I think that's the best way of understanding this. It's not a slave, it's an employee. You've hired them to do jobs, and they've done one of their jobs, but their other job is to prepare the table, make the food. Just because you've done some of what you've commanded, of what you're there to do, doesn't mean you deserve thanks, a reward. If that's your job, if God commands you to do something, he doesn't owe you any rewards for doing it. Which means that just obeying is the minimum. That's the minimum. That's where you start. That's not the whole thing. How does it finish? Does he thank that servant because he did the things that were commanded him? No, I trow not, I think not. So likewise you, when you have done all those things which are commanded you, say, we are unprofitable servants, we have done that which was our duty. Just obeying God is a minimum. Yes, of course you have to obey, but that's the beginning point, that you launch off and do things that honor God. We should be seeking how to honor and go about doing things God's ways, whether he tells us or not. It is such a deception to say, I'm going to sit here and do nothing until I hear God tell me to do it. You're lazy. You're looking for excuses to do nothing because that's probably what you want to do anyway. For some people, perhaps it's best if you do nothing until God tells you, because all you really want to do is sin. That's all that's going through your mind. You have not been born again. You have not been renewed. So possibly just obeying is the highest point you can reach. And if that's where you are, I pity you. You are at a child's level in your walk with Christ, and it should not stop there. You need to begin with obedience. And then when you have been renewed, when you have walked with God for so long, you can see his ways. He doesn't have to tell you what is right all the time. You know it. You've seen it. He's shown you. He has impressed upon you what is good, what is righteous, what is pure, what is love, so that you can do it when you see an opportunity, even if he hasn't told you. Going the extra mile, right? Where Jesus says, if someone commands you to go with them 1 mile, go with them 2. Did he command you to go 2 miles? No, but you are honoring him willfully. You can do that. You don't have to wait until God says, do something, love them, obey what I've already said in order to do it. You can voluntarily honor God. And I'm not saying that you can make up your own rules and say it's honoring God and therefore it's okay. No, if you know God's ways, if He has impressed upon you what His ways are, how to love, you can do that whether you get a divine invitation or not. The opposite is sloth. That's what this is. He doesn't thank you for doing what He commands you. And if you're just sitting there waiting for Him to command you, that's sloth. That is laziness, and it's a sin, and you need to stop.